Hello, everybody. Welcome back to my podcast, A Few Minutes with Arun. Today, my guest is Garland Hill. Garland is a visually impaired writer. He wrote several books, and he's got some rap music on YouTube. Garland, welcome.
Oh, thank you.
Just to start off with Garland, tell my audience a little bit about your visual impairment.
Okay, well, my name is Garland Hill. I was born with the RP, retinitis pigmentosa, but I didn't find out my vision was bad until I was 24. I tried to get in the Navy, United States Navy, and I failed the color blindness test, and then they made me go see 3 specialists here in Houston. They paid for everything, and that's when they found out that I had an eye disease called retinitis pigmentosa. It affects the retina. It's the central part of my vision that's messed up, my straight-on vision. And so I maybe see like 5 feet in front of me. My vision is like 2400 in both eyes. I'm able to get around. I've had a lot of training. In 2019, I went to Chris Cole and Austin School for the Blind. Learned how to do everything under blindfolds if I were totally blind, even though I'm only legally blind. And I've been learning to develop my skills every day, being visually impaired. So non-visual skills are key for being able to function at a high level, being visually impaired.
Talk a little bit about Chris Cole. You said you went to Chris Cole, right? They teach you how to...
Chris Cole, it's like the men were with the men and women with women as roommates. So you had a room and you had to learn how to work as a team, keeping your room clean and everything. Typically the day would start out about 6 in the morning. You get in the shower and then you get dressed, put your clothes on. Then after that, probably about 6:30, you clean your side of the room, and the roommate cleans the other side of the room. And then you go down for breakfast between 7 and 7:45 was the breakfast. It was like cafeteria style, so we learned how to, under blindfold, learn how to operate a tray. So if we were going in the cafeteria, like standing in a line and then pushing the tray down the line. And then about 8 o'clock was like the first class, and then you go from 8 in the morning to like 5 in the evening, and you're in different kind of classes. Like my first class was wood shop. We're working with tools and structures. We drank coffee and had a good time. And then eventually I went to O&M, which is orientation mobility. Then I went to daily living skills, which they taught us Braille. They taught us how to cook, and they also taught us how to use our phones with the voice-over talk back then, if you had an Android or if you had an iPhone.
What did you make in the wood shop?
I made a lamp.
Oh, really? You still have it?
Yeah, I still have it. And
I think when I was a kid in high school, I made a cutting board, and my mom had it for like years and years, and it just kind of, the wood got rotted, I guess, because I kept sealing it with some kind of sealant, and so.
And the other things we learned at Chris Cole was, JAWS, which is a computer for they're totally blind.
It's a screen reader, yeah.
And so we had to learn how to type without looking at the keys, 4 fingers, and they taught us, typing. I know they teach us typing, but they taught us, how to listen for the sound of the voice and then type to the sound with whatever letter. And so that was pretty cool. And then we got to do recreation. We got to, walk in the evening and ride tandem bikes where 2 people on the same bike. You have like sighted person in front, and then the person that doesn't have sight be in the back, so they could guide you. And then we went different places, like we went to Dr. Pepper in Waco, the museum for Dr. Pepper, and we went different places. So we had a lot of fun, and I guess one of the classes I got to climb up a mountain, and that was pretty cool, not being under blindfold and teacher telling you where to step and not to step so you wouldn't fall. So that was pretty cool.
So tell me how you got started with, originally when I introduced you, I was talking about you writing. Tell me how you got started with that.
Well, my writing became a form of me losing my vision. In 2006, when I became legally blind in both eyes, I was 36. I lost my car when I was 30 due to my vision. I drove from age 24 to 30, but in 2000, I was 30 and I lost my car. And then 6 years later, I became legally blind in both eyes. And then I was having a hard time dealing with, being visually impaired or legally blind, however you want to say it. And God showed me how to start writing. And I started writing poetry and started writing freestyle raps to encourage myself and also to encourage others and inspire me and others. And so it's been a real cool journey.
So tell me about how somebody goes about getting your books on Amazon.
Well, for me, I went through a self-publishing company. Well, first you write the book, and after you write your book, you find if you want to do a traditional publisher, which is kind of hard to do unless you have a name. But if you want to get it out quick and do self-publishing, find your self-publisher, and they're the ones that actually helped me to get on Amazon when I published my book. I use Author House, and they helped me put on my books. I have 5 books, and they helped me put all my books on Amazon and the different online venues.
So when somebody goes to Amazon, they just type in your name, Garland S. Hill, right?
Well, my first book was my full name, Garland Scott Hill, which was spoken word spiritual undertaking. My second book was Fight Back, Make a Triumph Return. I used my initials G.S. Hill. And then my third book was Winning Now, God's Got It by Garland Hill. My fourth book was Sozo, The Blood Don't Quit by Garland Hill. And my fifth book was Daily Prophecies for the Champion in You by Garland Hill.
And what about, we met I met you at Lakewood a long time ago, but recently we met at a group called Catapult, which is a running group, and you started running a couple of years ago, I guess, right?
Yeah, I started in 2022. I started with Catapult, and also I do Achilles. I got in both of them programs, and they're both running groups or walking groups, and what they do is they have a sighted guide, and they pair up with a non-visual athlete, and we have a little tether, a little rope. I hold on one side, and the athlete will hold on another, and we just walk around the park or the race where we go, and we usually, do about 3 miles 3 times a week, and sometimes we go further. Sometimes we do 5 miles, and if we're really feeling up to it, we'll do like 10 miles. But most of the time, it's like 3 miles, depending on our ride with Metrolift and how much time we have to do it. But a normal run is about 3 miles.
So what have been your biggest challenges being legally blind?
I think for me, some of the things I deal with, it's just like sometimes people that can see don't understand people that can't see. They try to rush you at times, or they think you're slow because you're trying to figure things out. And then the other thing is like people.
Or they think that you don't know how to do anything.
Yeah, they don't think you know how to do anything, or they talk down to you and disrespect you and make you feel like you're second rate or second class when you're not. And that's one of the difficulties when people move stuff and won't tell you where they're putting it, and then you gotta hunt and try to find where they put the stuff at.
A couple of my college buddies, they used to move the drinks around when I used to go eat with them. Mm-hmm. They would tell you that it's a Coke, but it's actually a margarita or something like that.
Yeah.
Sitting in front of you. But I think a lot of I've been through a lot of struggles myself with eyesight, but I had to find alternative ways to do things. And I'm pretty creative, so I can kind of, I'm sure you do that too.
Yeah, but then also, it comes to people that like they want to be your friend, and they find you can't see them. It's like they don't really want to, associate or deal with you after they find out that you're visually impaired or you're blind. It's like, we're cool until you see the cane, or we're cool until you have a hard time seeing something, and it's like you don't really want to be my friend. So that's hard too sometimes.
Yeah.
When people act fake,
Yeah, I think, but the people that are real, they will hang around and they will help you and all that, so there's that too. But it's funny because whenever I drop something on the floor, and it's like I'm moving my hands everywhere to find it, and most of the time I end up finding it. I don't know what happens. What about you when you drop something? How do you find it?
There's a few things, whenever I drop something, I kind of listen and try to see which direction it is.
Right.
And
I do that too.
And then if I don't hear it, then sometimes, I'll use my cane to be a guide because it showed us, how to get down on the floor with your cane and use your cane as a guide. Try to find, or I'll just get down on my knees and go, hand to hand on the floor until I find what I'm looking for and just feel for it. That's why I mostly do it. It's like I'll just get on my knees and put my hand down. It may look crazy because I'm on my knee with hand run over the surface trying to feel for whatever I drop.
The one thing is, Garland, it's like at the stage of my life where I am now, I think even though I'm legally blind, I'm really proud of where I am because I think I've accomplished a lot even being legally blind. I've done races, I'm doing a podcast, and I'm not trying to brag or anything like that, but I'm always, my creative juices are always flowing, you know what I mean? I'm always thinking of some way of doing something, accomplishing something. Even though I retired from the city for a long time, I teach English as a second language. I think I'm doing okay with my vision impairment.
Yeah, well,
right?
it's the small victories that lead you to the big victory because when you get one victory, you get confidence and it makes you want to, man, I did that. So it gives you a step to go do something else because you accomplished one thing. After I wrote my 5th book, so I look back and say, wow, that's an accomplishment to have 5 books published.
Yeah, that's pretty good too. What do you think about, I want to take this into a different direction. My biggest thing is like I struggle with transportation a lot, because I sit there and, I'm not knocking Metrolift. Metrolift is a good service. It's a good concept. But it seems like the hours that I spend waiting for it is just crazy, And I'm hoping it gets better, and because not all of us have the money to buy Uber, to ride Uber all the time, right?
Right.
So, Uber comes on time, but Metrolift is just, that's the way of our life, right?
Yeah. Well, I think, the Metrolift has taught me a lot of patience.
Yeah.
Because
me too.
They'll say they're going to be there at a certain time and then show up 30 minutes late, an hour late, or they'll get there early and you got to leave them late. So if I'm at church and I'm listening to a message and I get my call out, I got to leave and I don't get to see the whole event or message. If I'm at church or if I'm at a ball game and I get my call out, I got to start heading towards the doors. Sometimes that's frustrating that, you're having to leave events early or you're leaving and everybody's already gone, so you're waiting on them to come or people are waiting on you, and so sometimes that gets frustrating as well.
I thought your mom taught you a lot of patience. Oh gosh, anyway, let's not go there. So what else did you want to talk about? Do you it seems like you have a gift for writing. Are you going to continue doing that, or?
I want to do at least 1 or 2 more books, and just to get a few more things. Right now I really want to write a book. The struggles or challenges that I've had to deal with as a visually impaired person or legally blind person, and just things that might be able to help someone overcome being a challenge as a visual person. Not being able to see, or if you have a family member that needs some tips on how to make it. For example, when I was at Chris Cole, they taught me the 12-3-6-9 rule. 12 was in front of you, and 3 was to the right of you, and 6 was behind you, and 9 was to the left of you. So
I've been taught that one too.
So 12 in front, 3 to the right, 9 to the left, and 6 at the bottom. So you could use that for eating as well, where you put your fork or you put your spoon or you put your knife or your cup or your plate, and just gives you a sense of direction. And even my brother with sight, he's got 20/20 vision, and he uses the method with me because he knows it works, and so he'll use a 12-3-6-9 principle, and you can use it pretty much for anything.
So tell me about your running goals. Do you have any you want to do the half pretty soon, or?
Well, maybe next year I can do the half, but I'm pretty comfortable with the 10K, which is 6.2 miles. That's really my go-to is the 10K.
I've done several halves myself, but I feel like, I could do a full, but I just feel like I'm comfortable where I'm at too. I like the 5Ks for some reason,
Yeah, I think for me, a half K is a little too much, but I want to do one just to get one behind me, and then after that, go back to the 10K, because I really like the 10K, I mean, 5K is good if it's hot, but if it's just cool weather outside, I like the 10K because it's just enough, not too much and not too less. So I like that one, the 10K, which is 6.2 miles.
Yeah, I personally, I don't know what it is, but as I get older, I'm really enjoying the 5Ks because you get started and before you know it, it's
Done.
Voila, done. Because
Yeah.
with those halves, what happens is you get to training, and it's like at 9 miles or 10 miles, you're like you hit a brick wall and you're thinking like, what in God's earth am I doing this for?
But to me, I think a lot of it is on the guide that helps you. That I like the guys that really communicate to me and
Right.
they tell me, I'm going too far right or too far left, or you're about to hit a tree, and they're always talking. I like the guys that talk where I don't have to figure things out.
Most of the guys at Catapult most of the guys are excellent. Catapult does a fantastic job with guides and with arranging practices and all that. It's really a good group for if you're visually impaired and you have any walking or running goals. Achilles is another group too that's pretty good too. Is there anything else you want to say, Garland? I know you go to Lakewood Church, and
I just say we walk by faith and not by sight, and you can choose to be strong or choose to be weak. It's up to you as an individual. Choosing to be strong is where you get to train and then you put the work in. Choosing to be weak is not doing anything, just letting your impairment, paralyze you, where you don't want to go out of the house, you don't want to try to learn how to do things. But if you really want to be strong with your disability, then you get the training, and then after you get the training, you put the work in, and then after you do the practice, you get better. The more practice, the better you get. And so, never really get perfect because you can always learn to do things better than what you're doing. So. The old saying, practice makes perfect, isn't always true because you can always get better if you're really working at it.
Yeah. And what about your books? So if people want to get a hold of your books, they just go to Amazon, right?
Yeah, just go to Amazon, or you can, if you want to listen to my rap music, it's all on YouTube, so it's free on YouTube or Spotify. You can go to Spotify or Spotify Radio or iHeartRadio, and it's on there for free. And also YouTube is free if you don't want to go to Google Pay or the iPhone version of Google Pay, and you could buy it if you want, or you can just listen to it for free. My music is inspirational, encouragement. It's a freestyle, spoken word, or freestyle rap, however you want to say it.
So do you want to give people your email address if somebody wants to get a hold of you?
I'm good. They can just go to to Amazon or
okay.
Because I already have a lot of stuff on. A lot of people contact me on email, so it's
right. Didn't mean to put you on the spot there, buddy.
No, it's all good. No, it's just like I have a lot of spam going through my email, so it's kind of hard to and being visually impaired. Sometimes it's because I'm listening to voice to see what's coming in my email, because I use the talk back on my phone, and then use JAWS, or I use the non-visual desktop application.
Right.
Either one.
Anyway, Garland, it was good having you. Very interesting. We'll have to do this again. Thanks to all of you for joining me. My email is arun.gaalla@gmail.com. If someone wants to help me make this podcast better, please reach out to me at 832-687-2840. Thanks again, Garland.
Oh, yeah, thank you. And I say God bless to you, and God bless anyone that listens to this or they want to get in touch. And so, blessings much.